China is expected to at least double the number of its nuclear warheads over the next 10 years from the low 200s now and is nearing the ability to launch nuclear attacks by land, air and sea, a capacity known as a triad, the Pentagon has revealed. The annual report to Congress on China's military marks the first time it has put a number to China's nuclear warheads. The Federation of American Scientists has estimated that China has about 320. The Pentagon said the growth projection was based on factors including Beijing having enough material to double its nuclear weapons stockpile without new fissile material production. We're certainly concerned about the numbers, but also just the trajectory of China's nuclear developments writ large, Chad Sprague, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for China, told reporters. The annual report comes as the U.S. Congress debates the pending $700 billion defense authorization bill amid rising tensions between the two countries. Al Jazeera's Heidi Sucastro, reporting from Washington, D.C., says the bill amounts to 3 times China's annual defense budget. She said that U.S. President Donald Trump's Republican allies want some of the money to cover potential nuclear testing, which is opposed by the Democrats. In his statement, Sprague said China was also nearing completion of its nuclear triad capacity, as it develops an air-launched ballistic missile that would have nuclear capability. The report said that in October 2019, China publicly revealed the H-6 Newton's bomber as its first nuclear-capable air-to-air refueling bomber. Washington has repeatedly called for China to join in trilateral negotiations to extend New START, a U.S.-Russian nuclear arms treaty that is due to expire in February. China has said it has no interest in joining the negotiation, given that the U.S. has a much larger nuclear arsenal. In July, a senior Chinese diplomat said Beijing would be happy to participate in trilateral arms control negotiations, but only if the U.S. was willing to reduce its nuclear arsenal to China's level. Earlier this year, the Communist Party-backed tabloid Global Times said Beijing needed to expand the number of its nuclear warheads to 1,000 in a relatively short time. Trucks carrying weapons including a nuclear-armed missile designed to evade U.S. defenses were displayed in Beijing in 2019 as the country marked the 70th anniversary of the Communist Party taking power in China in 1949. In an interview with Al Jazeera on Wednesday, China analyst Andrew Liu said that China's nuclear posture was largely defensive, adding that even if China doubled its nuclear warheads, from 300 to 600, it would still be only a tiny fraction of the U.S. arsenal. The U.S. is said to possess something like 6,000 nuclear warheads, and the U.S. has much more extensive military bases, with about 800 bases in more than 20 to 30 countries around the world. And so even if China built some bases, it's still way behind the U.S. Russia has roughly 4,300 warheads, according to the Federation of American Scientists. Kingston Reef, Director for Disarmament and Threat Reduction Policy at the Arms Control Association Advocacy Group, said that China's growing nuclear arsenal should not be used as an excuse for the U.S. and Russia not to extend New START. It further reinforces the importance of extending New START and the folly of conditioning extension on China and China's participation in arms control, Reef added. Tensions have been simmering between China and the U.S. for months. Washington has taken issue with China's handling of the novel coronavirus outbreak and moves to curb freedoms in Hong Kong. The increasingly aggressive posture comes as President Donald Trump bids for re-election in November. Another source of tension has been Taiwan. China has stepped up its military activity around the democratic island Beijing claims as sovereign Chinese territory, sending fighter jets and warships on exercises nearby. The Pentagon report, based on 2019 information, said China's military continued to enhance its readiness to prevent Taiwan's independence and carry out an invasion if needed.